Sabres trade for Yegor Chinakhov. Bowen Byram signs and quiet off-season update. Imagine you're a Buffalo Sabres fan eagerly awaiting the team's big moves in the NHL draft, free agency and trades this summer. But here's where it gets controversial. Nothing much has happened. The silence is deafening, especially when you consider the team's potential to make some significant waves. One intriguing development is the reported interest from the Buffalo Sabres in Columbus Blue Jackets forward Yegor Chinakhov. Sources suggest that Chinakhov has expressed a desire to be traded, and the Sabres are among the teams that have shown interest in acquiring the right winger. This move could be a game changer for the Sabres offense, but only if they can make it happen. Another surprising turn of events involves Bowen Byram, the Sabres defenseman. The team initially requested salary arbitration for Byram, which was a bit of a shock. However, they quickly followed up with an announcement that Byram had signed a 2-year contract to remain with the team. This decision doesn't necessarily close the door on trading Byram, as general manager Kevyn Adams still has options. But for now, it means the Sabres defense remains strong and stable. Apart from these developments, the Sabres roster has been eerily quiet. Fans are left wondering what the future holds and whether the team will make any more additions before the season starts. And this is the part most people miss. Sometimes the most interesting stories in sports are the ones that unfold in the quiet moments. So, what do you think? Should the Sabres be more active in the market? Or is it better to bide their time? Share your thoughts in the comments below. NHL Atlantic Division 2025-26. Power rankings revealed. Sabres playoff hopes? The Buffalo Sabres are facing an uphill battle as they prepare for the 2025-26 NHL season. While other teams in the Atlantic Division have bolstered their rosters, the Sabres haven't seen a game-changing influx of talent. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this enough to keep them from competing for a playoff spot? The Florida Panthers, fresh off their back-to-back Stanley Cup victories, have managed to retain their championship nucleus. Stars like Sam Bennett, Aaron Ekblad and Brad Marchand have re-signed, ensuring the Panthers remain the clear favourites in the Atlantic Division. Their ability to dominate in the playoffs is unmatched, making them the team to beat until someone proves otherwise. Tampa Bay Lightning, on the other hand, had a relatively quiet off-season. With a top-tier roster and limited financial resources, they focused on small but impactful moves, such as signing Pontus Holmberg from the Toronto Maple Leafs. This savvy acquisition adds depth to their lineup, particularly in the defensive zones. The Toronto Maple Leafs present an intriguing case. Despite finishing second in the Atlantic Division last season with 108 points, their playoff failures continued to cast a shadow. The loss of Mitch Marner to the Vegas Golden Knights leaves a significant gap, but the team's balanced approach might pay off in the long term. The Ottawa Senators have shown promise with a strong underlying performance over the past 3 seasons. However, their lack of playoff success is striking. A trade for defenseman Jordan Spence from the Los Angeles Kings has given them a new lease on life, suggesting they could challenge for a top 3 finish in 2025-26. The Montreal Canadiens had a late season surge that secured their playoff spot, but their overall record suggests they're still finding their footing. Acquiring blue liner Noah Dobson is a crucial step forward, but their goaltending remains a wildcard. The performance of netminders Sam Montembeault, Kaapo Kähkönen or Jakob Dobes will be pivotal. The Buffalo Sabres, this ranking feels accurate given their current roster. However, their lack of organizational depth, especially on defense, could be problematic. Key players like Jacob Bryson and Zach Jones stepping up in crucial roles will be essential. Goalie Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen's performance will also play a critical role, as his struggles last season raised concerns about the team's chances in goal. The Detroit Red Wings narrowly missed the playoffs last season despite a strong finish. An active off-season could have sparked real optimism, but general manager Steve Yzerman's moves have been relatively modest. The fate of goaltender John Gibson and the impact of new signings James Van Riemsdyk and Mason Appleton remain uncertain. Lastly, the Boston Bruins are looking to the future with the addition of number 7 overall draft pick James Higgins. However, a full-scale rebuild is likely necessary for the Bruins to return to Stanley Cup contention. For now, the front office seems committed to improving the roster without disrupting key players like David Pastrnak and Charlie McAvoy. So, where does the Buffalo Sabres journey end in 2025-26? Will they find the depth they need, or will injuries derail their playoff hopes? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments.